We got together with Bob Perry a few days ago, speaking of garage doors, and he explained how to install the garage door. Let's take a look. Now, Bob, what were the choices that you gave Linda here?
Well, basically what we did, Bob, was we looked at the flush style door first. It is the economy version of a flush insulated door. Mm-hmm. It's a foam-filled, hardboard veneer door. Mm-hmm. It is prime painted, suitable for painting, but it is the economy version. It is the lower price door.
Right.
It is a good choice for the quality.
Yeah. And what else did we look at?
We went from that to the high-tech door, which is the metal pre-finished door. Mm-hmm. It has a wood grain texture on the exterior surface.
So it's embossed to look like wood.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a foam-filled door, which is very energy efficient.
Yeah.
It's pre-finished. It comes in two colors. It comes in white and brown. The struts on the inside for added strength are also insulated.
Mm-hmm. But she didn't go for that.
No, she didn't. She really wanted a wood door.
Right.
So what we did was we went to the insulated door, which is the rough-sawn Luan mahogany door.
Right.
It has a rigid foam insulation. It is Luan mahogany on both sides with a rough texture on the outside. And she felt as though this would match the house.
That was the ticket, right?
I think so.
She's got a 100-year-old wooden house. She wanted a wooden door in the garage.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, what's Dave doing over here?
What Dave's doing now, we have the bottom panel in place. He's checking it to see if it happens to be level, and he's going to scribe it to fit the floor.
Now, it's extremely important that that first panel be really level, right?
Absolutely, because the rest of the panels stack on top of this panel, and if this section happens to be out of level, the whole door will be out of level, and as a result, it won't work properly. Now that George has completed cutting the door to fit the floor, he's going to attach this rubber gasket with roofing nails to keep the weather out. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, inside the building, Dave has established a vertical plumb line on the jamb, and he's going to attach his track by means of these galvanized lag bolts. Now for the horizontal track, which is going to be hung from the ceiling with angle iron that Dave is going to attach to the floor joists with lag bolts. Now George has completed attaching the hardware to the door, and he's going to stack the door in the opening and bolt the hinges together to hold the door sections.
Now, these hinges will not be seen from the outside, right?
No, there won't be any hardware seen at all from the outside.
What's the reason for not having any exterior hardware?
It's purely aesthetic. Now it's going to take a few minutes to bolt these sections together and fasten them with the nuts. And the next step is going to be the spring assembly. Now David has the door open, and he's going to take some measurements after locking it in place to make sure that the door is square with the track.
Yeah.
So it will run properly. If they find out it's not,
beautiful.
Okay.
he's going to come back here and make his necessary track adjustment and lock it in place by means of this angle iron brace so it can't go anywhere after that. Now we're going to attach the counterbalance assembly, which is accomplished by means of a cable which is run through a sheave wheel, which is attached to an extension spring. It's attached to a solid point up front, and when this is completed, this is what's going to aid us in opening and closing the door manually.
Unless you want to use the electric door opener. Let's take a look at that.
Okay. It's a very simple item, basically. It's comprised of a motor unit with a light that comes on when the door is open, a remote control unit here in the back.
A radio receiver, essentially.
Exactly. And it's operated by means of basically a bicycle chain that runs through a driven sprocket in the back and an idler pulley in the front.
Right.
And it opens and closes the door when a control is activated. It's basically hung from the ceiling the same way as the frame of the door was.
Using angle iron.
Using angle iron and suspended from the roof rafters.
Right. Terrific, huh? Really makes a difference.
Works good. It's also got a safety device, Bob. If you stand under the door, I'll show you how it works.
How long do I have to stand under the door?
Until it hits your shoulder. Then it reverses on contact.
Yeah. How come the little operator you've got here has two buttons?
Well, we have a spotlight system that's going to be mounted up here when the electrician comes back, and it's also going to be turned on and off with the same remote control.
Wonderful. Thank you, Bob.
You're welcome.